Today, chocolate is an estimated $40 billion global business. Chocolate's appeal has reached every corner of the earth. New and improved ingredients and packaging adds to the demand of this decadent confectionery. Despite people's concerns about diet and exercise, chocolate is a growing industry that shows no signs of shrinking. Chocolate has even won over the skeptics. Recent medical studies confirm many indigenous beliefs about the holistic properties of chocolate.
There was a lady living in France. She died about 3 or 4 years ago. At that time, she was the oldest living person in the world. And Mrs. Clemente was her name. And they said, "What do you attribute your long life to?" And she says, "I eat a bit of chocolate every day." People eat a lot of chocolate. It's a business that's increasing. I've been in the business for over 50 years. Most people in the chocolate business are people who have fun. They enjoy what they do. And when people buy chocolates, it's generally for occasions, happy occasions.
In Mexico, the making of chocolate remains an indigenous practice. Raw cocoa beans continue to be sold in markets throughout Mexico. For the people of Comalcalco, working in the cocoa industry is a way of life. As a Mayan descendant, Gerardo Pech proudly continues to make recipes that his ancestors invented.
The making of chocolate is a very labor-intensive process. We started collecting the pods that we have been cultivating for 5 months. Then we cut the pods open and scoop out the almond-shaped beans that grow inside the cocoa. We bring the beans to the warehouse where they are allowed to ferment from 6 to 8 days. Then they are cleaned and dried by placing them in the sun for another week.
Next, the beans get roasted and then get put into a machine that hulls them. The hulled beans, or nibs, are blended and it is turned into a paste. Cocoa contains 50% butter, so when you blend it, it automatically becomes a paste. That paste is refined, gets mixed with sugar and vanilla, and goes into a process called conching, which is rolling and kneading the chocolate to give it the smooth and creamy quality.
Time has stood still for many of the inhabitants of this charming village. This ancient chocolate drink still serves as an invitation for families to gather and reacquaint.
It's great when we get together at my grandmother's house to have some pozole.
For pre-Hispanic people, pozole is considered the chocolatl of the poor. Due to the fact that cocoa was used as currency, having a drink out of your own money was very expensive. The average person could only afford to use a few beans of cocoa in their own drink. Pozole continues to be Tabasco's traditional drink.
Gerardo's grandmother prepares pozole every morning. She first boils dried corn with lime until it's tender. Then she roasts and patiently hulls cocoa beans. Next, she grinds the cocoa beans with some cinnamon and other spices. And finally, she adds the corn and grinds everything together. She makes a dark paste out of that and throws it into water, mixing it with her hands until everything dissolves. She serves pozole cold with no sugar. This drink is so energetic, people drink it before going to work, and it is delicious.
For as long as I live, I will always tell the story of chocolate. Everybody should know chocolate began as an indigenous practice, brown as native people. This is part of who we are as a nation.
It is worth preserving the traditions of Xochitl, because by doing so, we preserve nature too. We take care of the places where we need to get our resources. I will remain drinking Xochitl with my family and friends, because it keeps me in contact with our ancestors.
Chocolate itself is part of almost every indigenous tradition in Mexico, and we are happy to share it with the world.
As Indigenous people document their stories, their importance and wide-reaching contributions demonstrate the significance of their impact on our daily lives. So the next time you crave chocolate, you know it's because of Indigenous people that you can share in the most delightful thing in the world, chocolate.